research.
Yeah, Sony CMT. It's kind of a joint venture between two companies. I'm their guinea pig, I guess we like to say, the first artist we're trying this with. So,
well, that's good. At least they're going to be watching your progress carefully, I guess.
Yeah, that's right, and it's been a lot of fun. They helped get me out on the road here with George Canyon on this tour, and we've had a lot of fun so far. We started the tour this last week in Kelowna and hit Kamloops and Coquitlam, and we were in Williams Lake last night, and now here tonight. So it's been a lot of fun. George and the whole crew are great guys.
Well, it must be great for you being sort of an emerging artist. You've been around a long time. I think your name is fairly fresh to people, so we may be treating you a bit like a overnight sort of thing.
Sure.
But certainly that's not the case. You've been around the block for a while.
Yeah.
But it still must be nice, obviously, to go, travel a bit of the country with one of the premier guys in Canadian country.
Definitely. No, I mean, getting to ride. This is my first tour, getting to ride around on the full tour bus, and get some time to look out the window at the scenery along the way. It certainly is. I guess they call it beautiful British Columbia for a reason.
Certainly they do. And yeah, you're certainly a very unique part of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, it's very beautiful. I've really enjoyed the traveling time in between the shows every night, and George and the guys, like I said, they're real fun on the bus. Everybody's cracking jokes at each other, and I'm kind of like the new young guy to them. So they're all trying to trick me, and I can be kind of gullible sometimes, but we have fun.
You're the rookie on the bus, yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. No, although like you said, I've been at this music business for about 15 years now, and but in the eyes of guys like George that have been around forever, and the public, I'm still considered new, I guess.
Well, I haven't said that though. You had a couple of big singles as of late. You got your label behind you, and
yeah.
What can you tell us about? We were talking earlier about Jason McCoy. You hang out with him and stuff back in Nashville, and we talked about that. And you said he's been instrumental in your stuff.
Yeah, he has. He was one of the first guys that kind of took me under his wing when I moved to Nashville. I was 19 and I moved out of the farm in small town Fergus, Ontario, near Guelph, Ontario, down to Toronto to study music in music school. The thing was, you could only go to music school for classical or jazz music. They didn't really have a school of country music degree, so I chose to go study jazz for a couple of years. And it was good training on the guitar and music theory and stuff, but I kind of had enough of it after a couple of years, and really was getting the urge to go out and be a singer-songwriter and get a career going in the country music scene. So of course, you go to Nashville to do that. So I packed up the 95 Civic, threw the guitar and the bag of clothes in the back of the car, and headed south.
And there you are.
And here I am today. With Jason McCoy, though, was one of the first guys that I met down there, and he was kind enough to let me crash on his couch the first week or so I was down there, and we ended up doing some songwriting together and whatnot. And so we're real lucky in Canada to have a talent like Jason, and he's a real good guy.
And I know you guys all grouped together down there, so it's fair. Those who are maybe Roadhammer fans or would be interested to know that the bass player for the Roadhammers, Chris, also hanging out with you guys playing tonight too.
Yeah, Chris is from the Roadhammers, is playing bass with George Canyon in the band, so he's been out on the road with us, and he's a real phenomenal bass player, so it's a lot of fun to get to be out on the road with all these great musicians. And speaking of Jason McCoy, I actually wrote my first single, I'm Your Man, with Jason. So spending time on down in Nashville there, we got some time to write songs here and there, and the story behind that song was my brother had been dating a girl all through high school named Shannon, and around the time I moved down to Nashville to start writing songs, he broke up with Shannon, and he went off to college. And a couple of years went by, and I came back home to Fergus, Ontario from one of my Nashville songwriting trips, and my brother said to me, Ryan, I made a big mistake. I realize now I never should have broke up with Shannon in the first place. What can I do? How can I get her back? And I told him, well, Brett, I'm not sure what to tell you. I've been a single musician for a while. I'm not sure what to tell you, but I could write you a song for her. So I took the idea back down to Jason McCoy in Nashville and had this title, I'm Your Man. And sure enough, he loved the idea, and we ended up writing the song.
And it's a great one. What we'll do is we'll have you do the performance part of this afternoon, maybe once we're done finished talking.
Yeah,
so
sure.
We can adjust everything so it's a little different when you're playing than it will be for us having our conversation
now.
Yeah. Well, and that's great that Jason's always in that corner. You guys are all there. We heard with Ron the other day and a couple of times your story about the Taylor Swift billboard and that. So I guess we want to pretty much primarily focus on your music today as we get geared up for tonight.
Yeah.
What sort of, anything else I'm missing that you might want to add about your journey thus far?
I guess I started geez, I was 13 years old. I did my first recording in my local hometown. We found a local producer, and he had a studio. And my parents sent me over there, and we recorded my first 9 songs I think I'd ever written. And they weren't really very good now, looking back at them. You're hard-pressed to get me to play them for you. But, it's just been a journey ever since then, really. I started playing. I got my first guitar when I was 7, and I'd been in piano lessons before that. I was 5. My parents had me in classical piano, but a couple of years went by, and of course I got that first guitar under the Christmas tree and never put it down since. We wanted to have the kind of the country rock star dreams, I guess, singer-songwriter type thing. And all through my teens, I had a sibling band. My brother's still to this day my drummer, and my sister played keyboards in the band, and we travel around all the Canadian, primarily in Ontario, but Canadian festivals and fall fairs type of gigs, and we play every weekend and go around to these things, and but we all grow up and whatnot, and I of course moved to Nashville, as I mentioned earlier, at 19, and spent the first few years writing songs, kind of finding my sound, developing my craft, and I came to the point where I realized, geez, I've written a few hundred songs now. I've got a few that I feel really strongly about. One of them was I'm Your Man, and I was kind of like, how can I do something that'll get me a little attention, just to open some doors for myself, to get the attention of the music industry gatekeepers, so I can get a chance here to get my songs heard on the radio and get some exposure. So, because it's tough in the music business to get noticed. When you go to Nashville, there's a real abundance of talent.
Yes.
And so to stand up from the pack can be a difficult task sometimes.
Certainly.
So I was thinking about it real hard, and I came up with this idea, as I mentioned to Ron the other day on our phone interview, about putting up the billboard to Taylor Swift. And so what I ended up doing was putting up this big billboard in Music Row in Nashville with a picture of myself holding a note to Taylor Swift, who was a big star at the time,
sure,
saying, "Hey Taylor, will you produce my album? Ryan," and then I have my website on it, ryanlaird.com. So she and anyone else that was in the music business there could go hear my music through my website. So sure enough, a couple of weeks went by after I put this big billboard up, and Taylor, a person on my Facebook page, sent me a note saying, "Hey, you got to check out this interview online." So I went and watched it, and it was Taylor talking about my music on E! News, I think.
Nice.
And from then on, I started to get all these interview requests, and it just kind of got me noticed a bit on the map a bit, and one thing led to another, and I got the record deal with Sony and whatnot, and here I am working on my album and getting the singles out to radio.
It sounds like it has the making of a really good story here. You might have 8 years gone by, or later on you might look back and that could be the TSN turning point sort of thing, right?
Yeah, you just got to try things, I think, and sure, it was a big risk to do something like that, but I figured, I want to go all in on my music career, and so I've been trying things along the way, and that's just part of the story along the way. But at the end of the day, it's about the music for me, and I'm real excited to always be writing new songs. And when I get to travel like this to new places, it often inspires new songs for me. Getting to see new places and meet new people.
And you're right, certainly a gimmick like that might be good to get you noticed for a sec, but after that, if you're on your own, right?
And you're on your own, yeah. It all comes back to the music, So I guess it's where commerce and music kind of collide.
Yes. Now, if I remember correctly with Ron, you never really did meet. You haven't met her yet, or?
No, we actually I never met Taylor Swift through the billboard, but again, the kind of the she gave me sort of an endorsement, I guess.
Yeah, you showed out
on TV and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was kind of served its purpose there. And at the end of the day, my ultimate goal with the billboard was to get my own music career launched.
And at that point, you'd say she probably must have taken a peek before she would have spoke out about it.
Yeah. No, she said on the interview about checking out my music and everything, and that she thought it was great and everything, and that was really nice of her to do that.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's a nice story. I guess we should probably let you go. You got a sound check here in a few hours. I want to remind you, of course, it's George Canyon, Ryan Laird tonight at the Senior Center in Quesnel. Tickets will be available at the door. You want to get there early, get the best seats available. And are you guys going to hang around a bit afterwards and stuff too?
Yeah, I'll be out at intermission, so I go on for about 30 minutes at I think it's 8 o'clock tonight.
Yep.
And then we have a little intermission. I like to come out and meet everybody and shake some hands. So I'd love to see everybody there. And then George will get on with his band and they'll do their show.
Well, that's great. We really appreciate your time this afternoon. We hope all the best for you, and make sure you keep in touch, all right?
I will. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's go. Which one do you want to do first? I mean, first single was I'm Your Man.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
And it was a fantastic song it was, too, by the way. So,
thank you.
Everyone, play a sneak peek at what's happening tonight. This is Ryan Laird, and I'm Your Man on The Wolf, your home for modern country and the best Southern rock.
Someone who holds you when the world's too much. Someone who understands. Baby, I'm your man. If you want to feel a fire in the night, someone to kiss your lips and hold you tight, then baby take my hand, 'cause I'm your man. If you want strength, girl, I can give it. If you want to fall in love, already it. If you want a strong heart and a biggest man, baby, I'm your man. Yeah, we can take it slow, we can jump it fast, but something tells me that it's gonna last forever. And if you want that, baby, I'm your man. If you want strength, girl, I can give it. If you want to fall in love, I'm already in it. If you want a strong heart and a biggest man, baby, I'm your man. If you're looking for a cold heartbreaker, that's not me. That's not the way love should be. But if you want someone who'll stand by you and do the best they can, then come on, baby, I'm your man. If you want strength, girl, I can give it. All in love, I'm already in. You want a strong heart and a biggest man, baby, I'm your man. You want a lover and a biggest man, baby, I'm your man. Baby, I'm your man. If you're looking for a real life love.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Ryan Laird, I'm your man from The Wolf again, of course, tonight with George Canyon. Now, the latest single. What can you tell us about that one before you do it?
Yeah, sure. It's called She Was the One, and I was lucky enough to get to write with a man named Monty Powell down in Nashville, and he's a pretty well-known songwriter down there.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, he's I guess a lot of his success has been with Keith Urban. He's done a lot of songwriting with, and so I was real fortunate to get to work with him on some music, and one of the songs we came up with was She Was the One, and I had this idea to do a song in a past relationship that when I was younger that didn't last, and kind of looking back realized, that was a really great thing we had, and kind of took it for granted at the time, and looking back now probably could have done some things differently, and in retrospect. So it had this title called She Was the One, and we ended up writing the song from that.
And I think I speaking for myself and everybody else, you're not alone in that regard. So I would assume that that's why the song would be hitting a good chord with everybody. I think we probably all have somebody that, if we had a chance to redo that one over again, we might have at least.
Yeah, we might have. Yeah, for sure. And but you live and learn along the way, and hopefully repair it for the next time.
Exactly. Well put. She Was the One. It's the new single. Here's Ryan Laird in studio here at The Wolf. She was the one for me, straight out of all my dreams, and she meant everything to me. It's true, but it's hard to say. I let her walk away. If she was here today, I'd be
walks on, singing some clean-up song, and doing my best to right the wrong that everybody else could see. But me, why was I so blind to see the obvious? Love I could have had just set free. Now my girl is gone. God, what have I done? She was the one, she was the one, she was the only one for me. I actually happy now. Got a new love, new town. Look at the life she found without me. She's a one in a million. She's every man's dream and some. Now it's a little too late to want the one that everybody else could see. But me, why was I so blind to see the obvious? Love I could have just set free. Now that girl is gone. God, what have I done? She was the one, she was the one, she was the only one for me. And everybody else could see, but me. Why was I so blind to see the obvious? The love I could have had just set free. Now that girl is gone. God, what have I done? She was the one, she was the one, she was the one, the only one. She was the one, she was the one, she was the only one for me. Oh,
She was the one. Ryan Laird. From the Wolf, Modern Country, the best Southern rock again. Proud to be bringing George Canyon with Ryan tonight. The Quesnel Senior Center, 8 o'clock. Tickets still available. Well, hey, Ryan, thank you very much and continued success.
thanks so much for having me in. It's a pleasure.
I'll be honest, I think you're cute. I'm usually not this forward.